All right, that is my grouted floor, and the tiles laid and the board, the cement board laid underneath it. I haven't put silicone around the toilet yet, but I don't know if you're supposed to do that in the motorhome or not. I figured, I don't know, whatever. Turned out pretty decent looking. I also painted the shower. I've still got to put the trim piece around the seam where the fiberglass joins. But it's pretty white. I got to get one more can of the two-part epoxy, or the whatever this stuff is. One more can. 3 cans wasn't enough to do the whole thing, so I tried doing 3 cans, and I got just this last section here, but it turned out all right. It's not the greatest. I don't think I would do it again. I would probably, I'm not sure what I would do. Maybe I would do it again. Whatever. But yeah, that looks okay. Semi-shiny. Bathroom's still a mess. Everything in here is still kind of a mess. But floor looks great. I think it looks fantastic. I think I did an alright job on that. Eventually I might do a new epoxy coating on this to get it to be more white. I haven't decided yet. There's nothing wrong with it. It shines up nice when all this stuff isn't on there. It looks alright. But yeah, so I figured I'd put an update on there. So this is when the heat, so I don't have to heat all the front of the trailer. This is how it closes, kind of a diagonal deal. It's not the best, it's not the worst. Oh, I also fixed this little, where the spot on the floor here, this board, it used to just end. All of these different planks of wood just ended, and this carpet kind of I kind of tucked it underneath. So what I did is I cut myself an extra piece of the flooring that I took up from where there used to be a shelf built out of this same wood flooring. So I had some spare stuff that the guy had built a shelf out of when he remodeled it, which was a pile of garbage. And then I just finished it off. It looks much nicer. I doubt you can see it. There was also there was a gap right here, so I put in, this is what it used to be. So it was about a 1/2 inch gap from the wall, and so I cut myself a little 1/2 inch section of the flooring, and I gotta adjust it a little bit, glue it in there, but that looks nicer too. The bedroom's working out well. It's nice and comfortable. My shoes, I kick them off right underneath the bed there, and it's great. Curtains are coming next. They're gonna be on their way pretty soon. I'm gonna go with something light, burlap fabric or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Tomorrow I'm putting in the diesel heater. I took out these were built with onboard propane tanks in them, and since I don't have anything that's going to be using propane anymore, I took out the 10-gallon propane tank. I'm going to turn it into a storage space for the diesel fuel cell, and I'm having to cut some aluminum away because it's a little bit, the fuel cell is a little bigger than the space is to hold it, and so I'm having to get a little creative, and so that sucks, but it is what it is. And so I'm doing that tomorrow, which means I get to rip, I'll probably be able to rip out the low pressure system, or not the system, but the heater, which you can hear going right now. I'll probably be able to rip that out tomorrow and put the diesel heater in, and I'll show you, I guess. So I intentionally got a 15, most of these diesel heaters come with a 10-liter fuel tank, and this one's a 15-liter. I thought that it would fit in the space based on the measurements that I had, but it doesn't, so I have to cut. And this little thing is the diesel heater. You can see I'm 6'4", so I got decent sized hands, but that's how big that is. And this is the propane furnace, which I'm getting rid of completely. So it's going to be fun. I'm having second thoughts about that because the power consumption is a little more than I'd like it to be. But, you know, hot water is not the most important thing on earth. So I'm considering which I have to replace. There's two underneath. There's a slide compartment that goes to the outside underneath that jackknife couch, and it's got two old deep cell lead acid batteries, and they're shot, and so the charger that's underneath the closet constantly hums all night long trying to charge these old dead batteries, but I need the system to run that and the lights, and this place, it's an absolute mess in here still, but I want to get that diesel heater installed before I can put the kitchen back together, and I got to get the propane out before I can put in the diesel heater. That thing is so much more efficient than the low pressure system. I've watched a few different hours of video now about people dealing with these propane, or with these diesel heaters, and apparently people just love them. They take way less power, and they provide, you can pretty much leave it on low to heat a trailer this size, the whole trailer, and it still consumes less power and less fuel than the old propane heaters do. The only thing that's not as great about that over the propane system is that it takes longer for that to heat up, and That's really about the most that I've found. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at now. I don't think I've done anything else. I had my daughter all day today, so I had my daughter for part of the day today, so I didn't get much done. I also built my nephew his Halloween costume. He is going to school tomorrow dressed as an outhouse. It's a miniaturized version where he has little legs that come. It's kind of goofy. It turned out all right. So yeah, this is my pile of junk everywhere. Still not mobile yet. I could drive this thing. It's not. There's no point in driving it right now. I bought a sheet of aluminum to cover up the hole where the water tank used to be, so that water doesn't leak down on that floor there through the old access panel. Other than that, should start seeing some new stuff again here pretty soon. I'll give one more shot of this bathroom. Color, going from that yellow color to a white color, I might order 2 more cans of that paint because it's kind of splotchy here and there. It didn't get as much coverage as I had hoped for 3 cans of spray paint. This is a 6-foot shower. I figured it was about as big as it's got a little more area to a bathtub, than a bathtub, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, it turned out all right. Here I can turn the shower light on. Yeah, probably 2 more cans. They're freaking $13 a piece for these cans. Better work. Yeah, it should work. Anyway, that's my update. I really like this floor. Those old big tiles that were in here, they just didn't look right. They were too big. They're meant for a house. A decent sized bathroom. And they just didn't do it. So next thing too is not the next thing, but eventually I have to build a cover for this. I'm not sure where the original cover went. When I got this, there was a utility 1/4-inch utility panel plywood that was just rough cut, like just slaughtered cutting, and like they cut it with a handsaw or something, I don't know, and it was just all kind of screwed in. There was a plywood a 2x4 that ran the distance up and down to brace everything on, that was screwed in with 2.5-inch screws that went all the way through to the other side out into where the kitchen was, and they had a little miniature cowboy hat hanging off of one of the screws so that they didn't poke themselves in the leg every time they cooked food. Oh, some of the stuff that these folks did, it was just crazy. It was just horrible. But so plumbing's still holding in there. It seems to be working just fine. It holds pressure all the time, and the pump kicks on and off great. Everything seems to work. I gotta add some toilet paper to that thing so that people, well, not that I use this bathroom. I'm not using it right now, but yep. Oh, this is the old mortar. Well, I let it dry up in the bucket. Useless Easter egg bucket. And yep, that's my update. Let me know what you think of that floor. I think those were, what do you call them? Like wall tiles is what they were for. They're for like putting up on the wall in your kitchen or on the wall in your I don't know. People paste tile to the wall now, I guess. But so yeah, that's what those are. I believe they're supposed to be for, and I thought they would look good as a floor, so that's where I put them. I like it. Turned out good. The mortar color that I chose was it's called ivory, and it turned out good too. I like the offset. I didn't want to get something too light because then it would just wash the tiles out. But yeah, it turned out good. I have the piece of wood that goes there. It's just it's got piss or something. I haven't cleaned it yet, and I've got to put all tomorrow when I take another video after I get this all rebuilt. I'll put in. I got to put the aluminum doors and all that stuff back on. It'll make it look whole, nice again. It'll offset all that white too. You won't be able to see it as well. Anyway, bye.